What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we have a showcase video for the brand new Super Evolution that's just arrived on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, which is 6+ version 2 Rayleigh. So I would have had a video up yesterday where I have his Pirate Rumble stuff. We went through him in a team in Pirate Rumble, and it was just so successful. If you guys want to see how this guy performs in Pirate Rumble, definitely go check that video out because it's crazy. This guy is amazing in Pirate Rumble, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're going to take him in generic content. So I have a couple of Coliseum clips, I have a raid, and also one of the Garp challenges as well. So let's go ahead and get into his breakdown first before we actually get into the actual showcase itself. So V2 Rayleigh 6+, he's a pretty cool unit. He's a Dex Cerebral Free Spirit, so his type and classes do not change upon super evolving. Now, my Rayleigh is not Limit Break expanded. However, if you did decide to expand his Limit Break, his Captain effect actually does get upgraded. But at the moment, without the expansion, it is -1 cooldown at the start of the fight for all characters, and then also for all characters, boost their attack by 2.75, and then boost their HP and recovery by 1.25, and then if your health is below 30%, you get an additional 1.45 times multiplier boost. So if you calculate that together, it's like a 3.98 times boost below 30%, which is pretty good. And then below that threshold as well, it will also boost your chances of getting a matching slot. So the Captain effect, honestly, like, isn't god tier, especially when you account for all the different characters that we have nowadays within 2020. But after expansion, it actually does get a lot better. It becomes -2 cooldown at the start of the fight, 3 times attack, and then it's an additional 1.5 times attack. So if you're below 30%, it becomes a 4.5 Rainbow Captain. So obviously in that circumstance, it's going to be a very good Captain effect. But without the expansion, yeah, it's pretty mediocre, but we still use him as a captain in this video today. I'm really excited to show some of the clips that I have for you guys. But let's talk about his special. His special ability did actually get a little bit of a minor change as well. The damage is still the same, 200,000 fixed damage to one enemy that ignores defensive effects. He gives you a 3 times chain lock for 1 turn, and a 2 times orb boost for 1 turn. So that'll always happen no matter what when you launch his special. But then if you launch his special and you're below 50% health, you get 95% damage reduction for 1 turn, and changes empty, block, tandem, and recovery slots into matching. So that's great, of course. That's the big difference between his 6-star form and his 6-star plus, is the fact that his other effects with the orb manipulation and damage reduction now will activate below 50% health instead of having to be below 30%. So this character is going to see way more play as a sub on a lot of teams compared to using him as a captain, but still, you can use him as a captain, especially after you expand his limit break. He's very, very good. His crewmate effects are nothing too crazy. Strength and quicker, beneficial for himself. Your entire team gets 50 base stats. His support effect is nothing crazy as well. It's a stat boosting one, but it does attach to any Dex character. So if you do need a really good stat booster for Dex, you could go ahead and use support medals on him, but nothing too crazy. His critical hit, 70% chance for 8%. That's pretty good. And 10 tones of recovery bind resistance is nice. 5% damage reduction. So yeah, pretty stock standard stuff. But the main reason and the main draw to the character, obviously, is his Pirate Rumble stuff, which of course I've made a separate video on. Go check it out if you haven't done so already. But this character can also do some pretty good damage, as you're about to see in the showcase video. Okay, so getting into the showcase video, the first team is going to be against Coliseum Yukimaru, which of course is the newest Coliseum here on Global. And of course, because this Coliseum was centered around utilizing SugoFest exclusive sugar, it made perfect sense to build a team utilizing that as the friend captain. Now, even though we do that, it actually is, this is a very easy team to build. Like, obviously we got Sober Mask in here, which is really cool, but like, as long as you got another character that, you know, gives you a full board of orbs and an attack boost, that's pretty much all you need. Or if you have someone that, I mean, honestly speaking, you kind of don't even need Sober Mask. It just needs to be an attack booster now that I'm thinking back at it. Because if you can actually use like an Okiku special here if you've got double special activation to lock your orbs, which would be pretty good, and then you could keep orbs for the following turn. But this is a reason why like it's so good, because obviously on stage 3 we can take our time. There's nothing really worrying us on stage 3, so we can get our health really, really low, and by doing so it enables us to get below 30% to enable Rayleigh to have his buffed captain effect, and also below 50% we can use his special ability here, and the special animation is absolutely beautiful for version 2 Rayleigh. obviously, and his super evolution. But by utilizing his special here, we can change those block orbs that we get into matching, as well as giving us a 3x chain lock and a 2x orb boost. So with that, and then also the 2x color affinity with the free-to-play Kuma, enables us to get color affinity for all of our characters that are 40 cost or lower, of course, and we've got a bunch of those on our team, so no problem there whatsoever. And then on the final boss, all we need to do is use Sober Mask for the attack boost and the full ward of orbs, Okiku for the color affinity, and then we can use the Sugar special to give us the toys and the orb boost with the super type special. It's a really cool team, and I had a lot of fun building this one. This was really, really good, but this is just one example of why Rayleigh is so good. Remember, he is a rainbow captain at the end of the day, so you have a vast array of characters that you could utilize as a friend captain. There's a vast array of different teams you could build with this guy. The main go-to that I use throughout this video here is by utilizing Sugo Fest exclusive Kid as the friend captain, because we can build some pretty solid Dex teams. And of course, when you've got Kid, Sugo Fest exclusive Kid, when you use his special ability, is an attack boost, and then you've got Rayleigh, who is an orb booster and a chain locker, so they actually partner really well together, though obviously there is still that downside of having to be at below 30% in order to get Rayleigh's buffed captain effect, which is not easy to do. And in a lot of cases, if you're trying to clear content really quickly, you're going to try and aim to bring someone on your team that can be your dedicated health reducer, or if you're going up against content that automatically reduces your crew's health, that obviously makes a big difference here. And that's exactly what happens in this next clip here, in the secondary Coliseum clip I have for you guys in this video, which is against Coliseum Neptune. This team was, oh my god, I absolutely loved that this team worked as well as it did. This team just absolutely decimated this piece of content. The only real problem is you have to do a little bit of stall before you get to that point, but once you got all your specials ready to go, like, each stage just gets absolutely destroyed. And the really big thing is stage 4 against Fisher Tiger. Typically he is kind of annoying, right? He's got defense for 2 turns, and then when you finally kill Fisher Tiger, he actually is going to go ahead and revive and give you badly matching slots. But we're going to be going ahead and using Sugo Fest exclusive Mihawk, which I have not used in such a long time, but it's so nice that I get a really good chance to use him here. And also, you're not allowed to use an orb boost in the final stage, so by doing so, we can bring Pudding to store the orb boost of Rayleigh against Fisher Tiger, and then use it again on the final stage. And Pudding is actually a perfect unit for this fight, because your top row characters actually get their cooldowns reduced by 1 turn on the final boss stage. So Pudding can actually reduce those characters' cooldowns, enabling us to use the Kid, super type, and the special ability on the final stage. It works so well. I love that this team worked. It's so much fun to use this. Of course, we do have the support effect of Onami, and we also have the support effect of Halloween Ace attached to Kung Fu Luffy to get rid of the bind on stage 3. But with those supporter characters and these characters on our team, this was a whole bunch of fun. And that's one of the great things that you can do with Rayleigh. And as you can see here, after we kill Fisher Tiger for that first time, he does reduce our health by like 90%, which is of course perfect for what we want to be using with Rayleigh. Being at that low HP threshold, we now have like a 4x captain. Then we have Sugo Fest exclusive Kid for his super type to actually KO all of the characters here through all defensive effects. So again, that makes it super easy. So we've only got 1 character to attack. I love the fact that this team worked. So much fun, dude. But overall, like, personally speaking, I don't see myself using Rayleigh literally at all as a captain. I could definitely see myself using him as a sub, though. As I mentioned, he does have quite a powerful special to give you your whole team a 3x chain lock and a 2x orb boost. And there aren't many characters in the game that can provide a type of boost like that. Another character that comes to mind that's somewhat similar to that is, for example, V3 Sabo, who is also a Dex character, but he provides an orb boost only to fighters, shooters, and free spirit characters, whereas this guy's a rainbow unit. You can literally run him on teams that, like, he's not even boosted, and it's still going to work quite well. This next clip that you're seeing here is against the Stampede Lucci raid boss, and unfortunately, I do make quite a bit of an error on stage 4 here, because I actually miss quite a few of my perfects, because there is blindness inflicted here, and I would have thought that that I was going to be able to hit at least a decent amount of perfects, but unfortunately that was not the case. So we are now unable to kill stage 4 in one turn, which does mean that we don't get the buffed captain effect and the 3.5 chain lock for the final turn. But despite that, we are still able to go ahead and get our way through here with this content, which is great. And one thing to note about the Stampede raid is the fact that your character in the middle right position, so in my example here, it's going to be Sugar in the middle right position, that character becomes your captain when you reach the final stage. So by doing so, we can just get Sugar's amazing captain effect and all the toy soldiers and her super type special activated on the final stage, which is a pretty cool way of using the character, of course. And look, I don't want to make it a Sugar showcase, but you know, Sugar's just, you know, she's that good, right? And again, Sugar is a rainbow captain that can partner very well with Rayleigh. So, you know, there's lots of different situations you could use, you know, Sugar and Rayleigh together. But as we mentioned as well, Sugo Fest exclusive Kid works very well with Rayleigh. The fact that both of them are decks, they work super well together. And in this case here, we're using Shanks' crew as a friend captain here. Shanks' crew also being a rainbow captain. Obviously, there is a little bit of an overlap with the fact that both Rayleigh and Shanks both provide a chain lock to your team. So that obviously is not great, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. If you're going to be using, you know, V2 Rayleigh, sorry, for content, then, you know, having a really good hybrid captain is going to be the way to go. I strongly advise against running double V2 Rayleigh. I don't think that's going to be a good idea at all. Obviously, it's not impossible, right? But I'm just saying that I think it'd be better off to run Rayleigh with a very good friend captain alongside him. And remember, he is Free Spirit and Cerebral as well, and there's plenty of good Free Spirit and Cerebral characters. You could even use V3 Law if you wanted to, even though he does overlap in terms of him being an orb booster, but Rayleigh has such a powerful captain effect on top of, you know, potentially V3 Law, right? So on a burst turn, as long as you got a health reducer, you can have Rayleigh with a really, really high damage potential. Plus, as we said, Cerebral, so you could run like Sabo and Koala, for example. Like, there's a lot of really decent options that you have accessible to this Rayleigh character, which is quite nice. As I mentioned before as well, is having a health reducer would be kind of useful depending on the content that you're coming up against, and especially if people out there have been playing for a long time, you may have access to the strength Log Ace Rev Recruit character, who is a Free Spirit character, and he is a character that reduces your health, and he has some of the best debuff removal in the game, really good orb manipulation as well. So he is one of the best characters you can utilize with Rayleigh in terms of being a health reducer and also having overlap of classes with the character. So if you have been playing for a long time and you have Log Ace, he's one of the better units you could run. But also another unit, if you have Neo Raid NL, who is a Dex character, he also will boost your crew's attack or your Dex character's attack by 2 times, and he also reduces your health by like 90%. So that's another really good option that you have as well. So those are just a couple that are just off the top of my head. But anyways, this is the final clip of the video where we're going up against the 10-star difficulty Doflamingo challenge number 1. And I guess it's kind of cheating utilizing Kaido as a sub character for this team, but it definitely made it a bit easier. And of course, if you do have Kaido, you're typically not going to be using him as a sub for this team. You're probably going to be using him as the captain, going up against the 10-star difficulty Garp challenge here. But just to goes to show, you know, how easy it actually is. We are using Kid as the friend captain once again. He's freaking awesome. And we've also got Nami and Robin, who is another pretty decent character you can think about as well, because she's got good utility. She's got a really good orb boost, and that switch effect is really powerful, you know, allowing you to store orbs. So, you know, potentially, like, if you get like a full board of block orbs, for example, you can just use their switch effect to store them, and then once your Rayleigh special is ready to go, you can just go ahead and get those block orbs back. Then you can use your Rayleigh special to change the block orbs that you got given into matching, and you know, you can go from there. There's really, really cool synergies with different characters with Rayleigh, and that's what I really like, of course. But that's pretty much all I really wanted to say. Just basically to sum it up, he's a really cool character. You're not really going to be using him as a captain. If you want to use him as a captain regularly, I would highly suggest Limit Break expanding him, but I don't think many people are going to be using him as a captain out there. But just saying, if you are going to, make sure you're spending his Limit Break. He's definitely going to be used as a sub though, you know, 2 times orb boost, 3 times chain lock, and then if you are below 50%, damage reduction and really good orb manipulation. Like, this character is just going to be a really powerful sub for a lot of different teams out there. But that's going to pretty much run up this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it wasn't really too crazy of a showcase, but I really hope you guys appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
疑わないこと、それが強さだ。どうした？一撃でダウンか。